Hey guys, welcome back to another chainsaw repair video. Today I'll be showing you how to replace the chain brake handle on your STIHL MS260. This saw here just came in the shop the other day and you can see the brake handle is completely busted. And to start this repair off, you need to remove the T27 Torx screw right here. And here's a handy Torx T27 T-handle wrench. You can buy it directly from your STIHL dealer. Here's the part number for that. Now I could use my impact wrench to do this, but probably you guys don't have that at home, so just by using a regular Torx wrench like this, you can do it without any special tools. Now this screw does come with this small insert. The next thing you want to do is remove the two bar nuts and take the bar and chain off. You may want to wear gloves during this procedure. Now as you can see, the part for the brake handle goes through this part of the saw here. First of all, I'm going to air blow all the dirt off the chainsaw. It's important that you do work on a clean chainsaw, especially when repairing the brake parts. And it's extremely important that you wear eye protection when you do this. Now what you need to do is remove this screw here to get the plate off. Now at this point you need to remove this cover here, and there are a few Torx screws holding this cover on. You can remove the cover just by pulling up. If it's stuck, just pry it with a screwdriver. Now at this point, guys, I'm going to recommend that you wear safety glasses because there is a spring in there and you never know if that spring comes off where things can end up. Now at this point what I'm going to do is remove this spring over here from the pin. It's on there pretty tight, so be careful. Again, as I mentioned, wear your safety glasses. Now for this, I usually use this small tool from STIHL. You can remove clutch springs with this little tool. And that tool is part number 5910-890-2800. And it's called an installing hook, but mostly used for clutch springs. But sometimes it does work for brake springs, but just be careful. And what I usually do with this tool is I just go over here and then I pull. And then you just pull until it comes off the pin. Now if you don't have this tool, you can also use a screwdriver, but today I'll do it with the screwdriver because you guys may not have the other tool at home. So I'm just going to go like this and pry the spring up. It's going to pop, and now you want to get it out from the other end. Now what you want to do is remove the small E-clip over here. I'm just going to use a flat screwdriver for this. And just pull it out like that. Now what you want to do is pry this up with the brake part here. So try to pry both up at the same time like this. It came out easy this time. Now you want to slide this shaft out of the plastic part. And now all the parts from the brake arm are off. And today I'll be replacing the brake arm with a good used one. And there's a part number here on the brake arm. Now when you go to order the brake arm for your chainsaw, make sure you bring the model and serial number of your chainsaw because there can be different variations of these brake arms. Now before installing the other brake arm, it might be easier just to remove this part here out of the way. And you'll notice some other parts down here. You're going to notice that little spring on that mechanism here. If it disconnects, then just reconnect it like this. And what you want to do is line up the hole on this side of the brake arm to this pin over here. So I'm just going to set it on top for now. Now what you need to do with this part is put it in the plastic part. And now insert it into the brake band over here. Just like that. And now you need to line up the hole on the metal part inside the plastic hole. Now what's happening is the metal part here is stopping the plastic part here from sliding all the way down. So I'm going to put a screwdriver in here. So now you want it to look like this. You want it pushed all the way down as far as you can on both pins here. And make sure that spring is still connected to that metal arm. Now once you're done, you'll need the small E-clip you removed earlier. And you'll need to install it on this shaft over here. So it's important to have that metal part pushed all the way down enough so the E-clip can slide into the groove. And now that I have it in there, I'm just going to use a pair of needle nose pliers and squeeze. Now at this point I've turned the saw around. I'm going to install the Torx screw on the left side of the saw. Now it's time to install that dreaded little spring. It's probably the toughest part of this whole procedure. Now to install this spring, you need it in this position here. You need to hook this end up like this over here. Now it's going to sit in its position. Now the hardest part is to get the spring from here to there. But to make the job easier, I made a tool a little while ago with a 6-inch 5/16 diameter bolt. And you're going to see how this makes it a lot easier to install that spring. So just grab yourself a 6-inch or longer 5/16 bolt. And with a 13/64 drill bit, you can drill about a 1/2 inch deep hole in there so that it fits over the pin here that the spring will connect. And if you put a little bit of oil on the bolt first and spread it, it does help the spring to slide down. Now grab the bolt with the drilled hole in it, insert it into the spring. Now what you want to do is line up the end of the bolt with the hole onto the pin. Get it right into the pin like this. Now hold the spring at this end and pull. And now slide the spring down. And it makes it very easy to install that spring. And this is exactly how you want it to be installed in there. Now at this point you can reinstall the cover, and I've cleaned it all out. It's a good time to clean inside there when you're doing this. And now just tighten up the 2 T27 torx screws. And now you can test out the brake. Push the arm forward. And if the brake works properly, the sprocket drum will not turn. Now you can install this plate back on the saw. It goes like this. And I've cleaned it all up before reinstalling it. And this is the screw that holds it on. It goes right here. And make sure it's fairly tight because there is a lot of vibration. When I took the saw apart, the screw had become loose. Before reinstalling the bar and chain, just make sure that everything is tightened up properly. There's one screw on this side that I tightened up earlier, and there's the 2 screws on the cover. Make sure your sprocket rim is okay here. And I'm going to take the brake off by pulling back on the arm. And I'm going to install the bar and chain. Now while your bar is off the saw, just make sure you clean it before you reinstall it. And to reinstall it, I've put the chain on the bar like this. It's easy with the steel chainsaws with the sprocket protruding like this. Now you might want to wear gloves doing this part of the repair. And now install the clutch cover back on. Just snug the 2 nuts by hand. And now to adjust the chain, hold the bar up. Make sure the nuts are still loose. And now if you turn clockwise, it will tighten up the chain. And about this amount of tension will be good. Now while holding the bar up again, just tighten up the 2 nuts. Now when you do a repair like this for somebody, I do recommend that you start up the saw and try the brake with the saw running. I did try it out earlier with the saw not running, but I'm going to start it up now and just try it out this way. So as you saw in this video, it's not too bad. If you make the little tool I showed you here, it will be much easier to reinstall that spring. I will make another video on how to make this tool. It's quite simple. And also make sure to clean out the parts around the brake mechanism as you saw in the video. Thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And have yourselves a great day.